Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing you another tying video today. Today I'm tying a caddis pattern. I tie a lot of caddis patterns actually. We have a ton of them in our area, and you know, they're all over the place. They're all over the country here. So use them. They catch fish. They're a great attractor fly. You know, if I see something coming off on top, I usually throw a caddis before I try throwing, you know, an Adams or any other kind of Catskill style dry fly or whatever, because I tend to have a lot of confidence in a caddis fly. It's just a good attractor pattern. There's caddis on the water all the time, so the fish are used to seeing them. So, you know, if one goes floating down the stream, it's not like, hey, what's that? It's like, oh, it's a caddis. I've seen that before. Let's eat it. So, like I said, use a caddis. That's my first go-to. May not be yours, but you know, that's my thinking behind it. I wanted to share that with you. But here's a cool little pattern. This is called a Deschutes Caddis, and it's almost like a little mini stimulator, but a little bit better caddis imitation than what the stimulator imitates, which is, you know, a lot of times it'll imitate a hopper or stonefly or something like that. This is tied smaller. And you can tie it smaller than the one I tie it if you want, tie it on a different hook. But this is about as big as I would tie it in my area on this size 16 hook. Just with the extended, this 7/18 size 16 has that extended length to it, which I like. But that makes it about as big as you want to get. So be a good dry dropper fly, you know, whatever you like to fish. So here it is in the vise, and the material is to tie it. Okay, here in the vise you see the Deschutes Caddis, and cool looking little simple caddis pattern. Let's get into tying it. I'm going to tie this on a 7/18 Firehole hook in a size 16. Gives me a little extra length, and I like that on this fly. For thread, I'm using 70 Denier Tan. Use whatever you want here, because it only shows up on the head, and you can color that with a marker, so whatever you got handy is good. I'm just going to bring the thread back there to where the barb would be if it was a barbed hook. Then I'm going to take a little piece of, just a small piece of deer hair, and I'm talking like 15 fibers max, you know, 15 maybe 20, and that's going to be too many. And I'm just going to cut them off. You see there's all that fluff and stuff in there. We're going to pinch the tips down, pull out all the fluff, and clean these up good. Now that's too many. Okay, I want to take just about a third of them out maybe. There we go. That's about how many I want. And I'm going to put them in my hair stacker real quick. I want to get my tips all the same length. So we're just going to put that in our hair stacker. Give it a couple smacks on my hand. Get those tips all lined up, and then we're just going to pinch them and pull them out. I got a couple stray ones there, so I'm just going to pull out those long stray ones. Okay, there we go. And then we're going to set that on the tail. For the tail, I want a little bit less than the length of the body on this, because this is an extended hook, remember, so I don't want it too long. And then we're just going to tie that down. Now, I am hitting my hook there with my thread, which is causing it to fray. So you have to be careful of that. And you can bury the hook point in the vise if you want, if that'll help you. So I'm just going to wrap this up a little bit, and then we're going to cut it off about 2/3 of the way up. Maybe a little less than 2/3. And then I'm going to come back with my thread, and I'm going to wrap that down tight. So it's going to give me just a touch of body, and I don't want it too big though, but it will help add a little bit of body. Now the next thing I'm going to use is a little bit of dubbing. For the dubbing on this one, I'm using Golden Stone. This is Davey Whitlock's dubbing blends. And we're just going to take a pinch of golden stone. And this one would work good for like a October caddis or a tan caddis. And so we're just going to dub this on light. Just going to make a nice thin dub on there. And I always say I want to change the color of my thread. That's how thick I want it to be. If you're doing thicker than that, you're going to get your body too thick, especially for a small fly like this. So change the color of your thread and keep it at that. Okay, I like that. So I'm going to take this little extra bit I have off here. And I'm just going to wrap that off. Now, time to put my wing on. So in essence, this fly is kind of like a small stimulator. So we're going to make a wing. And for the wing, I'm going to cut off another small clump of deer hair. And again, I'm going to pull out the fluff. Get the garbage out of it. And I might even take my little comb here and brush out. That's going to get some of the extra, the really fine stuff out of there. And we're going to hair stack this again. I'm going to put it in my stacker. Just dump it in there, beat it in the palm again. And then you're going to see here, I'm going to pull this out and they're going to all be lined up there. So we're just going to pinch those ends. And then I'm going to pull out the extra stuff. Then I'm going to take the extra stuff and we're just going to set it right on top of the hook, and I want it just shy the length of the tail here. So we're going to set that up on top. I'm going to make one loop around it and then one over top of it. We're going to tie it down right there where it ends. A couple nice wraps in there. And then we're going to cut this off as close as I can. And then we're going to wrap that down and make a head here. Now you see I have a nice long head, and that's where we're going to come in with our hackle. Okay, we're just going to smooth that out. We got our nice wing there right on top. And you see how it rolls, how it'll stay on top by making that first loop. By making the loop on the first wrap there, that keeps everything on top and it doesn't roll around the hook, which is what you want. So now, the next thing I'm going to take is I'm going to take my introductory hackle pack. I'm going to take a brown one off of here, up towards the top. And you can use brown or like a cream. But what we want to do is we want to get the right hackle length. And that is about the right hackle length here. And what we want is the distance of the hook gap. So I'm just going to peel back a couple fibers. I'm going to trim this down, and I'm going to tie it with the bottom side. You can see how the bottom side is lighter than the top side. So I'm going to tie it with the bottom side facing me. I'm going to tie it on my side. So the bottom side is out. And we're just going to wrap that back there, come back up to the eye, take my hackle pliers and start wrapping it forward. Like I said, in essence, this is a mini stimulator, but it's meant to be a caddis. And your deer hair is not really, it's going to be part of what holds this up. It's going to make it ride nice and lay right on the top. But this hackle is going to do a lot to help that too. Now, as I go forward, I'm going to peel back those fibers, try not to trap any. Whoops. I want to take a wrap or two off here because I slipped. So we're going to get back at it. Try not to trap the fibers or let them come out of your hackle pliers like that. So we'll start all over again. And I get this comment a lot that I leave that in the video when I mess up like that. Look, you guys, it doesn't affect, everybody messes up, and so do I. And you fix it. That's all that's to it. So if you mess up, fix it. Now, once I get this up here to the eye, then we're just going to wrap it off. Trim that off there, and then I'm going to pull those fibers back out of the way. Make sure I get them back out of the way. so I can make a nice clean head here. And then we're going to whip finish for our head. So now you can also do a half hitch, which will push the fibers back out of the way. But that will work. And then you can hit that with a little head cement. I'm not going to take the time in the video here because that's pretty self-explanatory. So there you go. You see a very nice Deschutes Caddis, and this will ride on top with the body down in just a little bit like you want it. So there you go, have at it. Alright guys, I hope you like that pattern. Pretty simple tie. You know, this maybe taking a little bit of practice for you wrapping your deer hair if you're new to that. Always use that first wrap around the deer hair before you make the wrap around the hook. That helps out a lot. It keeps it from rolling around the hook. It's just a good tip to learn. And you don't really have to do it on the tail because it doesn't matter if it rolls around the hook because you're just wrapping it down, making it tight. So anyhow guys, if you like this pattern or you like any of my patterns, please take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate that. And thanks for watching. I enjoy bringing them to you. If you need any of the material, I list it down below in the descriptions. So, you know, if you're on full screen, click it back to the regular screen and read the description. Scroll down through it at the bottom. There'll be a whole list of materials and the links to it on our website, so you can just click right to it. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Until next week when I bring you another fly time video, I'm Sean Holsinger.